The only reason I'm even using the ring is because I have the nice mic here.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
One more minute.
Test 1 2, test 1 2. Yeah, we need to get a better mic, I guess.
Is it the quality or is it just not loud enough?
It's just not loud. Like, unless maybe it's just not activated. Maybe it's.
I mean, can you turn your recording volume up to make it more sensitive?
Maybe if I was using a different app, I don't know how.
I know on a
YouTube
PC
app.
you can do that,
But you're gonna be real close to me anyway, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be all right.
so just do the whole class.
If you can just like follow around.
Yeah, that's fine.
You have creative control, bro. I just like wanted to give him a better shot than just like where it always is.
What's that? It's my dangle.
All right, y'all. Let's get started. We're gonna start off with a standing drill. 10 viewers. 10 viewers. Wow.
What is going on, guys?
All right, so the game here is gonna be forehead to forehead. The entire time that we're playing, you cannot remove your forehead. We're gonna stay forehead to forehead the entire time. The whole game is to have inside ties, anywhere on him. I want to control his limbs and his head as much as possible, and not let him control mine. So as play, as he starts swimming, I want to swim back. I want to be head to head, and I want to be controlling his wrist as much as possible. All right, that's the whole game. We're not looking for any particular win condition. We're just looking to control his hands all the time. All right, good. All right, we're only doing it for a minute. Okay, it's just a quick little warm up, and then we'll get into something else.
I was doing the JP.
What's that?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, again, I got played.
All right, here we go on the bell. What's up, Brian?
Oh, you like that, huh?
Oh my God.
You can. I really just want you to focus on control. And I specifically want you to control the hands as much as possible. All right, let's stay away from the head as much as possible. Try to control the limbs. All right. Sorry. It's like hard to stay forward.
Feel all of
Hey, he's wearing a kitty outfit.
That's right. Now.
Lion King. All right. Next, we're going to add to this. We're going to play a few rounds of this. All right. So the next game is now your head's free to move however you choose. The whole game is, as he starts to take any kind of connection with me, I want to deny him control of my head as much as possible by any means necessary. All right. I don't want to let him control my head or my hands. My win condition is any moment that either of us can get around the limbs and lock our hands in a circle anywhere on his body. Whether it's here, whether it's around a single leg, his hips, both his legs, his torso. If I can lock my hands, then I win and we reset. All right? We're going to go 2 minutes on this one, and then we'll probably rotate partners out just to get different loads.
hugs with lots of love.
That needs to be on a t-shirt.
What did you say? What would
I
you?
said gentle hugs with lots of love.
There you go.
That needs to be our Valentine's like special.
Yeah.
What's that?
I just made it up.
That needs to be our like Valentine's special T-shirts.
Gentle. What did you say?
hugs
Gentle.
with Lots of
Grapple,
love.
where we get gentle hugs with lots of love.
Yeah.
Have someone getting
All right,
strangled.
guys ready?
You gotta have somebody getting strangled.
What's that?
To have somebody getting strangled. Have like my face like just bloodshot red, like with BMAC just making me like just bulge.
'What's up, man? He just got me. It's the same live stream. I'm just walking around with it, so. Oh no, you're fine. It's not. It's not like professional camera work here. I'm just. Oh really?
Yeah, it takes a minute to get them ready.
Yeah, I bet, man. I don't see how people train dogs. Yeah. "30 seconds. Keep going, keep going. The timer always beeps at 30 seconds left.
Beat the arms, lock your hands.
Oh, we're not going to the ground.
Time.
Forgot to unmute myself at the beginning.
On this one or on the other one?
On this one.
Oh.
That's all right. We don't care about Facebook. All right. So, observations from that? Anything?
Everybody's breathing hard.
Everybody's breathing hard. Did anyone not successfully lock their hands one time? Yeah? What was the main problem you felt like you were encountering there?
I think I was more worried about defense, honestly. Just
More worried about him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although the one thing that seems to be, and this is just, I'm thinking of hockey, not like paying attention to the arms and the head, keeping an eye on the chest. To keep where the, as opposed to like getting, I keep.
Let's briefly talk about a couple of just like fundamentals here in this position, and then we're going to run it back. All right. So first off, we've been over this before. When I approach the man, I want to be matching his head level. I don't want to be overly committed to where he can get easy access to my head for snap downs, okay? Or way higher than him where I give him easy access to my legs, okay? So roughly looking to match head height, especially for all of us in here who are not wrestlers, okay? If you are a wrestler, then God bless you. You can get down there and just
Wrestle your heart
be a demon, a sprawl demon, or a shot demon, right? But none of us are wrestlers, right? We're learning here. So good like defensive wrestling is matching head height. Next, when I approach him, I'm not going to give him access to my lead leg easily. I've got a down block hand at all times. So whichever leg is leading, right? I'm ready just in case he decides to take a shot. I have something there to resist and start counterattack. Okay. Next, I don't want to give him easy access to underhooks. Okay, so generally speaking, grappling in general, martial arts in general, I don't like limbs extended away from my body. Elbows close to my trunk, okay? Next, inside position. Okay, we were talking about fighting for inside position. What's up, Josh? What I mean by this, for my new guys, is if Chad takes what we call a collar tie on me, and he's got his elbow here, he's on the inside of my limbs, right? And my limbs are the primary means that I use to frame against him, right? And it be able to hold him at bay if he wants to start coming into me, or be able to actually start being offensive. Like, everything comes from my ability to control this inside space. Okay, so to manage distance or take that, like, to make distance or take it away. Okay, so when he has inside position, we don't like that. That means he's at an advantage. Okay, so I want to be able to clear these. I don't want to let him ever control my hands and my head. Okay, so I want to be able to strip it off, right? Or weave in myself, take my own collar tie. And when I say inside position, it can be the head, okay? It can be the head and a wrist. It can be the inside of the bicep. The whole point is to just not allow him to occupy the space between my elbows and my center mass. Okay, this right here is where everything is fought and won and lost, okay? Right here in the inside position. What's up, Camden? All right, so when I say fight for that inside position, it's controlling their hands so that as he's going to try to take offensive grips on me, I'm keeping him at bay here, okay? And and then the next piece of this is once I have a good dominant position, right here you'll see I have most of the inside position. He has a very shallow collar tie, okay? At this point is where I can start to be a lot more offensive, okay? I've got my head is in good position. See how I'm driving into his neck and his temple? I'm able to drive up. It's very frustrating for him because it's really hard for him to turn into me. And I can take this away at any moment and start arm dragging, finding the back. So play with those concepts. We're going to do another round. I just want you to think about when I approach the guy, protecting my lead leg so he can't just easily shoot on me, okay? Even though the game right now, he can't shoot, right? But be thinking about this, right? And then the whole game here is I want to dominate this space, and I want to be able to start cutting angle on my partner using my head and my head to manipulate his posture, control his position on the inside, and use my hands to manipulate, to control his ability to get his inside position back. So once I get here, I'm pretty well positioned to go on the offensive, okay? It can be the inside of the bicep, it can be wrists, it doesn't matter, as long as it's on the inside, okay? It's not on the outside. Cool? We're gonna run this again, all right? 1, 2, 3.
Are we still doing a circle thing, or are we trying to?
Yeah, hey, same game, okay? And to be very clear, what I meant by circle can also mean this or this, any configuration here where I'm able to lock my hands, okay? This all counts, all right? The only thing I'm not looking for right now, specifically, is locking my hands when he still has an arm in. I'd rather you get past the arm. The only time this is not the case is if you do lock the arm in here. I don't mind that, okay? Cool? All right.
Hey guys, I'm videoing this live stream thing, but like, do not worry about getting in my way. Y'all do your thing. You're not in my way because you walk by or some mess. You know.
Yeah, I'll move this.
I'm adjusting. I'm moving. So just ignore me.
Yeah, and then Nick.
What'd you pull, Nick?
Inwards rotation, but I mean you can stab serious. But
Where?
I'll be back.
Sorry, dude.
No, you good.
Yeah, that's my bad. I should have.
No, you good.
What'd you pull, bud? What'd you pull?
No, like so I was rolling with Tucker, right, and then I went for a single,
Yeah.
and then he went like the body lock, and then he like kind of spent me around, and I spent him around at the same time, and we went opposite directions, and then he kind of fell down a bit, and my leg was under there, and then I kind of rotated my hip inwards.
Is that your previous issue, Nick?
No, it was on the other leg, but it was on the knee the other leg.
Okay.
This one, they don't think it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that I want to make it more.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Well, feel free to stand and watch if you want, or if you need to get out of here, go for it, bro.
All right, I'll probably just
Yeah,
sit
dude.
down.
Hey,
Sorry to happen.
you're young. Most young people don't want to rest. Like, it's good to like chill when you're injured and let it heal. Because if you don't, you can have to make your rest period like 10 times longer.
There you go. That's a win. That's a win, Tucker. That's a win. If you grab his leg, you win.
Yeah, and as you get older,
You make a circle around their
it's
body,
going to be
you
a
win. Stop
valuable
moving
lesson
at
to
that
learn
point.
to take time to heal on your injury.
I'm gonna just sit down there.
Yeah, man. It's cool. Was he saying that was just
Don't be scared, Evan.
I know.
Said it? Yeah.
He probably knows what I am, and that's what he's like. I don't really want to hurt you.
All right, guys, hey, get you some water if you need it, all right? There's water in the fridge, there's room for some water out there. Get you some water if you need it.
Well, I'm an Anglican, so it's somewhere in between.
Except Josh, no water for Josh.
I'm a camel.
You just circling me? Josh, don't drink
You
water.
just happen to be standing there. I'm just videoing. I'm finding the best looking dude in the room. And so, like, you have my genetics, so obviously you're the best looking.
Do a close up on Chad while he's drinking water.
Oh, yeah.
Over impressed his ass.
Chad's ear.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Terrible.
Look at
The
his
infamous,
ear.
blowing up ear.
Yeah, I mean, we go ahead.
Oh, recovering? Now that I've learned that way of tripping somebody,
We're trying to get around
B-Mac, I'm like trying to look for a little switch on the leg to do like the cross up leg trip.
like little league.
Trying to catch it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got them on Amazon.
Yeah.
They're pretty, they get your head high. Well, I have more hair, but I'm sure if you shaved it, yeah.
It's okay, I've been bald, Chad.
Yeah, I was bald before I came in
I have
here.
to go bald that way.
I'm talking like shave your head with a razor every morning type bald.
Yeah, he was like, it was crazy.
I had alopecia. My hair fell out. I swear, I'll show you some pictures after class.
Here's our next situation is we're gonna go down to the ground, all right, on the butt. So our next situation, we're gonna work just our side-to-side aspect of our passing here. So if y'all were here last week, we talked a lot about when we're approaching a supine guard, we always want to be controlling the feet because he wants to use his feet to establish connection with my hips, my knees, and my ankles with his feet, and then his hands to be able to start destabilizing me, off-balancing me, and get offensive himself, right? Really good guard players can be really offensive from their back, as most of y'all know by now, right? So our goal here for this game is going to be approach him, control his feet, and then as I start to cut angles, remember we talked last week about work rate. He's going to get more and more tired as, like right now, he can just chill, right? He can put his feet down, there's no threat. But once I start cutting angles and I start coming out here on the side, now he has to start bringing his knees to his chest. If I start changing levels, he's got to use his upper body frame to start framing up on me. And now he's going to have to start bearing my weight. All right, so this game, the passing game we're playing, not the game right now, but the general game we're playing is one of drain their power level, okay? So that by the third, fourth time that we go for the pass, we just melt through them because they're tired, okay? So here, we're gonna approach, control the feet. I want you to start cutting your angles. Then so our goal, right, is always occupying the space here, right, between his knee and his elbow and his hip, right? But that's when he's trying to retain guard, our problem is gonna be his recovery leg. It's the other leg that as I'm here, it high legs over and he's able to start squaring off, right? So what we wanna do, the game we wanna play is here, he goes to high leg. Instead, he's already like calculating where he wants to put his feet, right? We're gonna throw that off by, as soon as we see this leg coming over, our hands come over, we're going to transition to the outside of the leg, and we're gonna send his legs further than he wanted. Okay, and with this, we're also looking to step across. Okay, he goes to high leg again. Here, he goes to high leg again. Here, okay? That's the game. There's no win condition on this one, so this first one, okay? We're just looking to keep floating side to side, getting good at the timing of this. Throwing them back to the side and occupying the space, okay?
It's rough on the abs too.
What's that?
It's rough on the abdomens.
Yeah, I need to do this too, so I'm excited about this one. Any questions on that?
Is this 2 minutes apiece
We're gonna do,
or a minute apiece?
let's do a minute apiece, and then we'll switch up. Yeah, because there's no win conditions, so, yeah.
You guys are gonna have abs like Spartan.
Guys, if you're bottom player, kind of what he's getting at, focus on relaxing your core. Okay, like it's counterintuitive, but the more tight you are, the actually like less mobile you're going to be. You're going to be more like a rock. Okay. All right, on the bell.
Use the opposite leg.
Stuck up in your legs.
I was holding with the wrong leg because it was easier to have
Is anybody really tired and wants me to work in? Because I'm happy to.
Relaxed.
All right. Guys, hey, real quick, couple things just to think about here. When I throw it, so let's say we're here, and then he comes to high leg. If I go to throw his legs apart, and I step here first, instead of across, I'm kind of asking for him to just like hook my back leg and get his foot in there and retain guard, okay? I really want to emphasize here, 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 okay? One other little detail for my higher level guys, don't worry about this right now, but if you're like more experienced, when we come across here, I really want to point my toes towards his hip to eliminate his backside 50-50 entries here, okay? Like, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't even worry about it, all right? Just get to his hip, all right? All right, 1, 2, 3, on the bell.
Have you been over basic Toriando pass? Okay. Gotcha. Is this based on that dude that you posted today? Okay.
See if we can replicate it without actually explicitly showing how to do it.
Gotcha. okay. You still post it though, right?
Yeah, I'll post it after too, the landscape.
Okay.
15 seconds, 15 seconds.
You good? Well, it's easier said than done, relaxing your abs to do that.
Yeah.
You like worked off for like the first 20 seconds.
It's all them big ab muscles.
Let's talk, hey, while everybody gets their breath, let's talk a little about, like, the purpose of this. All right, so here, the whole idea here is, we already know, as I make Chad cut an angle, right? If I start passing out this way, his upper body frames come in, right? Right, we talked about this last week a bit. We're going to go into it more here in a second. But if I make him commit to a side, like stay right there, okay? What invariably happens to the other side of him? If he commits his defense to a side, if we make him commit defense to a side, it always leaves the other side vulnerable, right? That's the reason that we're doing this, okay? Is so as he goes to commit hard to one side, I can get to the other side. And this might go 3, 4, 5, 6 times, right? Like that's the purpose of the drill, is to get used to that timing and stepping, like getting the timing of reading the legs, letting him fly by and getting in on the hip, okay? And then if he reguards like this, like, right, there's plenty of passes, okay?
Mash him.
Sorry, that was good.
Yeah.
So off guard.
You better train like you play, right? All right. So next up, let's move on. We're gonna play these games again, like all month long. Okay, so like you're gonna get lots of reps in of this. Okay. But next, what I want to do is actually hone in on camping. You see our lovely game board up there tells you what games we're playing tonight. All right.
So am I playing off my butt or off my back?
Now, so bottom player here is going to be playing from supine, right here off his back. Top player, all I want you to do, we're going to get into this camping position. We're actually going to start in the camping position, okay? And what I mean by that, especially for my new guys, I'm getting inside the hip line here with my elbow, not on the outside. Inside, one hand's on the knee. Now, as I start to round this corner and cut an angle out with my hips, almost like a tripod, my head is also going to go here into the hip line, okay? Now, go and bring your frames in, okay? This is where we start, okay? This is camping. The game is stay here for as long as possible, okay? Without going chest to chest with him or hitting your knees. If you hit your knees, reset. If you get chest to chest with him, y'all should, it's a loss, all right? Count it as a loss, not just like a reset, but count it as a loss. If you hit your knees, count it as a loss, okay? The whole point is to find, for the top player here, to find like how to manipulate your weight in real time as he's resisting you and you're having to shift around. The goal, the rule of thumb here is to be really heavy on this hip line so that he cannot bring his knee to his chest. As long as I dominate the space between his knee and his elbow here, he's gonna have a really hard time regarding, okay? And when we're ready, we can start walking down. And but the goal is to make him carry our weight, right, for as long as possible. All right. Questions on that? All right. 1, 2, 3. What we're gonna do? Let's see. Hey, bottom player. Top player has no way to win. Bottom player, if you regard to where they're no longer camping, or you force them to actually like hit their knees, whatever, then you win and y'all switch, okay?
Before you start, can you show me this camping position one more time?
Yeah, one more time.
My bitches.
No, you're good, bro. Start do it from a different angle here. So, okay, so I'm getting. Remember when we talk about our knee cut? When we get into the hip hip line here, and then we always change levels to reinforce it. Similar, except my feet are gonna be on the outside, okay? Hands still on the knee. My head is gonna go, I'm still changing levels, but I'm gonna emphasize, like, remember the other night we talked about if I'm a tripod, I have my legs out, and I can hold my weight up on my forehead. That's what I'm doing, except he's gonna hold me up, okay? So I want like 70%, 80% of my weight here in the hip line. This is where we start, right? And then go. Okay? We're just trying to hold it for as long as possible. Keep your guards, and y'all switch, okay? Guys, the clock is going to be on 4 minutes, but if at any point you need water, please just go get water. You don't need to ask, or like no one's going to give you a hard time or anything. Just go get water if you need it. Head in the hip, Chad. Head in the hip. I want your hips. Round the corner. Almost like you're doing this. Right? Right hand still on his knee. I just want to camp that. Try to bring your knee to your chest. Make sure it's
Got this one right here, right?
So, yeah, now my other hand is going to be stuffing
this
his knee.
Okay.
Okay, so now face out your feet. Yep, there you go. Now just try to hold that pressure on him while he's trying to bring his knees to the inside.
Is that all I'm doing? Is bring my
You're just trying to, you're trying to get to where you can face him again, or get legs inside his legs, whatever you got to do. Get his head off your knees.
You want me to try again?
Sure.
Good job. You took it over.
Water if you need it, guys. Water if you need it.
Not to celebrate on me.
I'm not.
Yeah, man, no problem. Oh, that's fine. Oh yeah, you need to be It's in your head though. You're getting mental reps, you know.
Oh, yeah. I'm too far back this way.
Yeah, like commit to like the weight that you're on. Yeah.
I think that was chest to chest. I don't think I was doing much for fighting my thigh anyways. Yeah, it's 30.
Yeah, it's 30.
Good job.
Yeah.
I was fighting my balance.
So, is my goal to get past sausage roll in order
north south? Or no, just holding it? Not right now. I want you to see how long can you stay on this guy. And make
Time.
Okay. Make him hold you.
I don't know that I weigh enough
Guys,
for
get
this
some
one.
water if you need, please.
Go into your pat down.
It's a lot harder. Once you get further north south, you're bearing all of your weight.
Yeah, you have to move on.
Stays in right around 137, 138 now.
How's it going? You doing good? Beating up the week already?
Something like that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
How's the Lions doing?
The week didn't give up.
That's good.
Oh, my weak side.
Yeah, and you get better on your weak side.
Ladies love some deformities around here.
Fuck.
My week can be better. Last night, the whole crypto market.
Oh, really? You hit it big over there?
No,
JC, is this doing like some split screen thing? No, is it doing some split screen when they're viewing it? Like, cause you got that one going too, right? Or that one?
That's just going on Facebook, and this is going straight to YouTube and all on YouTube.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know if you had some split.
That's going to Facebook and Twitter. That's not.
8 years ago.
Right, right.
Yeah, so like if the push doesn't go your way, you gotta pay.
Whenever you sell, you find
I probably shattered my
so you
elbow.
hedge your bet. You make less money, but you rather.
Hey, let's do a couple of just a couple things to file away for later on that. Again, we're going to play these games a lot this month, so don't stress out. I want to point out a couple of things. First off, if I want him to bear my weight, right? If you guys, if you want to look silly like me, you can do it with me right now. Otherwise, do it at home, right? But if we were to tripod up and put our forehead right here on the mats, I should be able to hold myself up and even distribute my weight, like cheat more towards my head if I need to, okay? And I should be able to stay like that comfortably for a while. Okay, if you're doing it and it's hurting, don't do it, please. But let's diagnose why it might be hurting. But ideally, you should be able to, tripod up that way, right? I've got 2 legs here and I'm making my head a 3rd leg. We're doing the same thing here. So, if I'm really low to the ground right here, I'm gonna try to, let's see. Where do you think my weight is, like, where's my center mass like that?
Right above your butt.
Right, okay? So, where's he at?
Under.
Under my head,
Yeah.
right? So the majority of my weight is not on him. Does that make sense? So I was saying for you, when I was saying get your butt up. What I mean by that is you were like super low, right? I am picking on you a little bit, but everybody's doing it. Lots of people are doing this, right? So here, if I'm super low, I'm holding myself up. I'm distributing that weight. But if I'm here, I'm much heavier, okay? My butt is up, and he should feel like I just got 10 times heavier, okay? So think about that. Secondly, when we're stuffing this knee, I want you to think about the concept, I say it all the time, the end of the lever, okay? Think of this whole portion of his leg as a lever, okay? If I want to have the maximum amount of leverage, where am I going to push in order to keep him from in order to maximize resistance against him taking his knee to his chest? The kneecap, yes, right? Here, not so good, right? It's going to require a lot more effort from me, and lazy jiu-jitsu is good jiu-jitsu, okay? So I want to use mechanical advantages. So palm on the knee. I'm not like doing this, okay? What's that?
Nothing. I thought you were going to punch Chad in the leg.
All right, but also if you're here, some of you might have, I saw some of this, right? Just something to try. Just flip your fingers, point your fingers towards the mat instead of trying to do the ceiling. You might feel a little bit like you're in your own way here, right? And it's more of your shoulder pushing into him versus here, it's a lot more reinforced by just the way that my body weight is already going. Like it's reinforced by my trunk a lot more versus here, I feel like it's a lot more of my shoulder, okay? Just something to think about. Any questions on any of that stuff? Okay. Again, that game is called Camping. We're going to be playing a lot of that game this month because I do think that that's one of the most effective forms of passing. It's the same thing Nick's been preaching for years. It's like if you're playing Street Fighter and or Mortal Kombat and you're watching the power level drain and drain and drain, like that's the game. All right, any questions? Cool. All right, we're gonna move on to our actual like theory segment, give you actually some submission material. So let's get under our nice eagle eye camera. All right, it's on your back.
On my back.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna talk about the arm bar. Okay. So I want you to, I'm not gonna show you a bunch of different like arm bar positions, okay? I want you to explore on your own, but I am gonna teach you a few concepts that every arm bar has to have, okay? First, I want you to think about the arm, again, as a lever. The whole thing here as a lever, okay? And everybody, when we were all in middle school, and maybe some of us still, even though we're in our 30s, like to snap pencils in half, right? Right? All right, so when we do that, right, when I smack a pencil over my knee like this, over the middle, like, think about, that's effectively what we're doing to this guy's arm, right? Right? I've got this lever, which normally, if you're just using a lever for actual, like, mechanical benefits, it lifts something heavy at the other end. See a shoulder pop up right there? Right? Not so much leverage when I do it from here, way more leverage when I do it from here, right? So lever, a fulcrum, that's what that's called. It's the point on which the lever rotates, okay? It's just like physics, mechanics terms, okay? And it generally moves a heavy object at the end of it. Now, I have a lever, a fulcrum, and now I'm gonna add in a wedge over his head, or the thing that's attached to the heavy object, right? It's like a counterweight. So now, when I start to overload the lever over the fulcrum, the shoulder, his head can't follow the shoulder, right? The shoulder is gonna stay staple to the ground. The heavy thing that I wanna move, rather than being the shoulder and the head, it's gonna stay staple to the ground. So now you just overload this whole joint, and that's why it's like a pencil breaking. Does that make sense? So now, conceptually, I want you to think about that. I want you to think about, for an arm to break, it needs to be straight, okay, if we want to get an arm bar. I want you to think about the fact that I want to overload this fulcrum, okay, and I do that with leverage and a counterweight. I want to shut down the thing at the end of the lever from actually lifting when I apply leverage, okay? The only other thing I want to tell you about this for now is for me to really control his, shoulder and his, and the fulcrum, right? For me to be able to actually break this thing, I need to have full control of the shoulder, right? I need to be like under the shoulder. If his elbow or the fulcrum, the thing I'm trying to break, ever gets out of where I can apply pressure, my hips, my hip line, then I can't armbar. Like people, you'll see like, brand new people like, ugh, and like there's no armbar. Okay, but if I'm under the shoulder, now we can actually make some magic happen. Next, I really want you to focus on, this is what this next game is gonna be. I want you to focus on gluing this lever. Like once you have an arm isolated, that we glue this thing to ourselves, right? It's not out here. I'm not holding it like this. I'm gluing this elbow to my chest. I'm gluing this wrist to my chest. Like, and he's not getting it back, okay? By any means necessary. I'm not even gonna tell you explicitly what to do right now, but once, go ahead and get a little grip, okay? If I break this grip here, right here, he's not getting this back, okay? I'm going to hug this thing, okay? It's mine. I want y'all to think about that. The next game we're gonna play is glued elbow. Please take this easy, especially my new guys, okay? We're not looking to break anybody's arm right now. We're not even looking to get a sub right now, okay? We're not looking to get a submission here. I just want to see, if I start just like this, right? You can put your legs wherever you want, okay? I'm not even going to tell you what to do there. If I start just like this, how long can I keep this guy's shoulders on the mats, or if he starts to get them off, put them back on the mats, right? How can I make sure that the thing that normally would lift from the lever stays anchored to the ground, right? And then how long can I keep this elbow and his wrist glued to my chest, right? So if he starts playing, go ahead. I don't want to submit him, okay? So I'm not going to apply braking pressure. I'm just going to control him. I don't want to submit him. I just want to glue it. Cool? Any questions on that? Please don't break him by his arms. We're not going for a submission. You lose if you make him submit. All right? I don't want anybody's arms broken, especially my new guys. If y'all feel uneasy about this because it's your first day, please don't feel like you have to do this. You can do the previous game. All right? All right, 1, 2, 3.
Control there, man. You had really good control there, dude. You being a gentle giant. Oh, you're giving me here.
You're in a few different directions.
You're just trying to get your elbow back. Alter shift, all right? I'm going to start the clock, all right? We'll just do a minute. My bad, guys. I wasn't paying attention. I should have hold on. All right, bottom player, just try to get your elbow out of there. Be careful with explosive movements in this position. Top player.
My first move is explosive. That was a terrible grip.
Do we switch? Yeah, go ahead and switch every time somebody wins.
That's blue belt level gripping right there, man.
Do we switch after they get out?
Bell's going to ring, just ignore it.
Feel like the only way.
30.
It feels like the only way.
You better with that side.
All right, any observations, good or bad, problems, solutions?
Yeah. So when he's got my arm trapped in tight, like, what am I even supposed to do? I know I can flip my thumb from up to over just to take some of that rotation out of it, but other than that and trying to wiggle my shoulder free, what else can I do?
What were you able to do successfully?
Nothing. Rotate my hand over.
Rotate your hand?
Yeah, that was it. That's all I could do.
Rotating the hands
Was get my thumb over.
can be rotating the elbow, so you're
Yeah.
it's part of a defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally what's going on, if he wants to, if he wants to take my elbow over this fulcrum, right? Go ahead. To start breaking it, right? And fundamentally, for him to do this, he needs this wedge, he needs my elbow, right? And he kind of inherently needs my hand, because if he doesn't control my hand, if you let go of my hand, then he can't really extend the lever. He doesn't really have a lever anymore, right? So he needs my hand, and he needs to be able to guide my hand and my elbow over this fulcrum, right? It needs to be my elbow over the fulcrum. It can't be my bicep, okay? This isn't like, that's not how arms break, right? It hyperextends, okay? So all these things, these are the three things he needs is, he needs the lever, which means a straightened arm. He needs the fulcrum and my elbow over it. And then he needs this counter wedge, because if he removes this and he starts breaking my arm, I just sit up, okay? So that's what we have to work backwards from, right? That's all the information that we, I mean, it sounds silly, but that is all the information we need to figure out a way out, right? And sometimes there's not gonna be a way out, but
Start working
think
on
about
those
this.
things, though.
Go ahead, right here. I know he needs my elbow on that hip. So what if I started taking it towards this hip first, right? I know he needs to take my head, I know he needs to keep my head pinned. What if I get his leg off of me, right? Like, I'm intentionally trying not to say how right now,
I get what you're saying, man.
because I want to try this kind of approach that we've been experimenting with. We can always go over some how and over that if you want. But I want everybody to think in terms of what are the things that have to be true for an armbar to occur. Let's work backwards from that.
And make one of them not true.
What's that?
Then make
He
one
need-
of them
yeah,
not
he needs them
true.
all.
Right.
He needs all of them. You just need to take away one of the things that he doesn't have an arm. Right? If I take, he either needs the lever, if he or also he needs the elbow period. Not to mention over a fulcrum, he needs the elbow period. Like we talked about that too. If he doesn't have that, what are you going to break? Right? So let's think in terms of my wrist. Right. This is Chad's favorite submission, by the way, is the COVID mask. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, we can go over some more like specific escapes if you want an open mat, but I want to try to see where people can arrive on their own. That's why we're trying to play the game safely, where you know that you're not going to get actually broken, and you can experiment a little bit, slow things down in your mind, work backwards from these like things that are true, like these constants. All right, any questions before we do our last game? Okay, cool. Now we're going to talk about breaking grips, right? And the first grip we're going to talk about is back in armbar position, please. Let's get right here on the camera. All right, right here. Go ahead and lock your hands up there. All right, this is the grip we're going to work from tonight. Okay, there are other defensive grips to take from armbar, but this is where we're going to start from with our game tonight. And your job as the bottom player is literally to just maintain grips. You can grab your hands in any configuration, but you cannot grab the other person's leg. That's all I'm going to say, right? Because there's several things you could do defensively if he starts using his hands on my legs. But right now, I just want you to focus on grab your hands or your wrists however you please as the bottom player and just try to maintain the connection, okay? Top player, when we think about leverage or mechanical advantages, Chad is going to be strong if I try to break his grip laterally here, okay? And I can do it, right? But again, lazy jiu-jitsu is good jiu-jitsu, okay? So right now our bodies are perpendicular, right? Making this T. I want you to think about one concept here for the game. I want to break these grips parallel. I want to break arms perpendicular. I want to break grips parallel, okay? So what I mean by that is you look at this C clamp he has, or this S grip, whatever you want to call it. The strength is this way, right? It's his biceps, his lats, his shoulders, like everything's this way, okay? Where the grip is weak is this way. Once you start cutting this angle, making this grip asymmetric, now it's really just his shoulders involved, and that's way easier to break, okay? That's what we mean by mechanical advantage. So what I want you to focus on as the bottom player is finding ways. I'm not going to tell you how, but I want your body to be parallel to try to break the grip while still maintaining the shoulder and the control of the arm, okay? All right, and y'all already saw me do one earlier, so I'll give you one for free, okay? I come under here, grab my head, and I fall parallel, right? And it's just my entire body weight and gravity put against his shoulder. and then I'm just gonna glue. I don't want you to break in, I want you to break and glue. Break and glue, break and glue. We're gonna pledge allegiance. We're gonna give that elbow a good hug, and we're just gonna chill here, okay? Once you have it glued, just reset or swap, okay? Questions on that? All right, remember, break parallel, break grips parallel, and we break arms perpendicular. All right, you ready? Sorry, I know you got 1, 2, 3.
Give us some direction, man.
You need that, like, that reset. All right, on the bell, on the bell. Remember, we're just breaking grips. Bottom player, you try to lock your hands, wrists, however you need, for as long as you can. Top player, you can use anything you want to break that grip. I just want your bodies to be parallel, your spines to be parallel when it breaks. No, you can't grab the leg, Zach.
What is that? How'd it go reverse?
Alright. If you haven't swapped yet, go ahead and swap.
Oh, wait. Was that it?
I don't know, you didn't break it.
I know, but he said if you haven't.
I think you switched.
Grips weak that way.
I think.
Apply force
I don't know.
that way. With anything you want. Just experiment with it.
It's okay, but it's not as strong a grip. It's like a S grip.
Okay.
Like your S grip's pretty stout.
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
It's so hard once it starts getting up there.
And if he does it, it's like you're inevitably gonna fail. You
10
can't
seconds, 10
just
seconds.
sit there all day forever. If he's just laying his body weight pulling, eventually you're gonna have to let go probably.
Time.
They're just quad.
All right, a couple notes on this, and then we're gonna do positional, and then we're gonna start open mat. Oh, Josh and Chad are the only people who said they're competing so far. Anybody else competing? You're gonna compete, okay?
When
Think
is
about it. March 29th.
At the end of March?
March 29th.
There's no pressure to compete, and you will not be treated any differently
This is
if you
that
don't
Sage
speak.
tournament?
No, this is Newbury. They're new to the area.
It's like AGF, but better. Because you get a
Seems,
belt.
seems like it might be better.
Is there a bracelet or
Tucker's
something we can look at?
furious that he
Yes,
can't
and I
compete.
have, yeah, and I have, don't sign up yet if you're going to compete. I got a coupon code for you to save some money on that.
Also,
But who, so yes,
maybe.
maybe, okay.
That's
If
a
you
yes.
are competing, or if you're at least a maybe, then I expect you to do comp rounds, when, open mat starts, okay?
Okay.
And if you're not, do whatever you want. We can use it, we always will appreciate extra bodies, but you're no obligation. All right, let's talk about, real quick, again, I like to talk in terms of physics and mechanics and, things that are always true. That way you can kind of work backwards out of situations. Go ahead and lock your hands. So I'm just going to give you a couple things. One thing I saw a lot of is just like this, trying to pull, which isn't, there's nothing wrong here, right? You're doing the game. Like we're trying to apply force this direction, okay? But think about right here, my elbow is kind of extended, right? Away from my own arm, away from my own trunk, right? So what are the main muscles in my left arm or my left side of my body that are like against his grip right now? Bicep, you're right. maybe a little bit of my rear delts when I start pulling, okay? I want, again, lazy jujitsu. I really want as much of my body weight in this as possible. So how would I make it so that it's mostly just my own body weight and gravity versus me with like isometric tension? How would I use my own body weight to break this grip? Yeah, be really specific. Tell me what to do.
Like specifically with that,
What do I do right now?
leave your arm through and
Which, this arm?
Yeah.
Where?
under,
Okay.
touch it face. On the side of it. Now lean back.
There's one key detail I'm waiting on you to say. I'm giving you a hard time. Okay. Look, I'm gonna, with my first arm here, I'm gonna stay elbow to elbow and I'm gonna stay glued, okay? But then I'm gonna take my other elbow to his wrist. When I take my elbow deep to the wrist, not shallow, but deep, this allows me, see how now I'm able to make my elbow parallel with my trunk, right? It's not pointed away from my body, right? Or pointed away from my trunk. It's running parallel, right? Now when I reinforce it with this little grip on my head, it's almost in line with my spine, okay? So as I fall, I've basically just attached my whole trunk to this grip, right? And I'm not squeezing at all. I'm talking to you right now as I fall. Get really strong, Chad. Get really strong. And I'm just gonna keep falling and I'm talking. I'm not squeezing so much. I'm here, and eventually he gets tired, and then we pledge allegiance, okay? My point of talking through is to show you that it doesn't require a ton of strength. You can always apply that, sure, but apply it sparingly, okay? What's that?
I said, oh, your sweaty legs.
I'm sorry, dude. All right, that makes sense. Look, I want you to think about coming elbow deep, right? And what's really going on there, right, is I'm just making sure that I get my lat and my trunk involved, right? That's as deep as I can get to get this, like, the thing it's attached to involved in that grip break, okay? All right, we got one more positional. We're gonna do 1 minute, and then we'll switch and do 1 more minute, and then we're done with instruction. This positional will be just literally from closed guard, actually. Let's go closed guard, right? So I want you to be able to build on some of the things we've been doing recently. I want you to start in a trap triangle, but you're not allowed to triangle. I want you to find an armbar, and only an armbar, okay? Bottom players, or you know, top, whatever. Top player's job, right? I think of myself as top here because I feel like I'm in control. But top player, your job is just to survive, get out of guard, don't get armbarred, right? You go wherever you want, but as soon as they're no longer in your guard, right? If they can stand to their feet, or they can get chest to chest with you, then you're done. If at any point you lose the isolated arm, like even if he brings another arm inside, as long as I still have this arm isolated to some degree, we can stay here. But as soon as I don't have the arm isolated, I have no control of the elbow and the hand, we're gonna reset, okay? Cool? All right, 1, 2, 3. Best see the house. All right, cool. Same person the whole minute, and then we'll swap, and then we'll be done. Yeah, you're looking for the arm bar? Only the arm bar. All right, on the bell.
Just guard or
Trap triangle. So you already got one arm isolated. You can cross your feet. This is where y'all will start. All right, on the bell. Sorry, thought I hit it. Be thinking about the concepts of how we break arms.
Yeah.
They all still apply here. It doesn't matter that you're on your back. It's the same thing.
I always hurt my neck while I'm trying to get belly down. I don't know how to like not hurt my neck.
No, I tapped him and choked me. I didn't mean to triangle him. No, he's just like squeezing his legs out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
By any means necessary.
Oh, you totally won.
Last one.
Totally won.
I mean, if you're bringing arm that way, you're not tripping. Because when you're standing up, you're gonna have to. That's true. You're trying to champion and shove my shoulders.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I got some needles in my dream. I'm actually doing these kind of drills.
What's this one?
All right, ready? These we could use hands. Or we just
Guys, let's get a photo and then we're going to start our comp round. If you are not competing, then open mat is starting for you. A couple things. I think the schedule next week will be different. All right, so we're starting next week. We're going to start with just one day, which will be Thursdays. We're going to invert where 6:30 is not, or 6:30 is going to 5:30, but it's not open mat. It's going to be positionals, and it's going to be like this, where you're going to come in if you so choose. Wait, what is? Schedule next Thursday is going to change, starting on Thursdays. We're going to trial this for a minute, see how this works. You're going to come in on, if you come in at 5:30 on Thursdays, instruction will start at 6:30 on Thursdays. And at 5:30, you'll come in, you'll see the games for the night. You can pick any of the games you want to play with your partners. And you can come in and do open mat if you want, but I highly encourage you to try this. And to make it more interesting, I'm going to have a section on the board up here or on the wall where you can put your name, tally every time you get a win of any of the games that y'all chose to play. Person with most wins is going to get $200 at the end of the month, and some bragging rights. And if it goes well, then I will actually probably increase that amount to a good bit more than $200 because I really think this is the best way to train. Or I'm intrigued. I just want to see what happens to the level in the room after we incorporate this. So I highly encourage you to try it. All right, what's up?
6:30 to 7:30 for the teaching part?
Thursdays will, yes, and we might go Monday and Thursday this way, but for now, just Thursdays. 5:30 is going to be like positional games. You can come in here for open mat if you just don't want to do it. That's fine. I'm not going to force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. Instruction will be 6:30, and then as always, when it ends, you can do whatever you want to after class. I don't care. You can roll warm, right? You can do whatever you want. Open mat again. I don't care, but we'll do 6:30 instruction. All right. If you want to compete, please let me know. And y'all get ready for comp rounds. All right. Let's get that photo real quick.
Are you shutting this down or keeping going?
You can keep going a little bit if you want.
Okay.
Catch a little bit.
It's up to you.
Is it swagger if I throw a little?
You can throw up any gang sign you want, dude.
You said any gang signs?
Yeah, we're very gang friendly.
And it's coming around.
Hey, friendly, all right.
You want it vertical or what? Okay.
We're getting like Raider or something.
Squeeze in. Squeeze in. Squeeze in. There you go. All right,
Just no birdies. My
one.
mom's gonna see this.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank y'all.
What's the word? Gang signs or birdies?
Birdies.
It's really I don't know. I feel like gang signs have killed more people.
Deaf people.
Hopefully we do.
I feel like gang activity has done more harm than birds. But I think I'm gonna have to set out on wait till I get home and do that.
Who's doing comp rounds?
Yeah, what? I didn't hear you, what? Oh, yeah, man. No problem. Oh, yeah, that's what happened when I went around.
Ask her, I was like,
The ones on Amazon are no different. They just, they're not, they can't be, it's like they CYA can't say they're like,
yeah, it says medical,
they're
it
the,
says syringes.
right. Yeah.
It's like, that's what I told her. I didn't like say medical syringes. I just
Yeah.
said, hey, do you have any syringes I can like drink?
Yeah.
You know, I was like, yeah, well, needle, like, so I can.
That's just CYA policy for
Because at
them.
first she thought I was just asking for just the syringe, just
Oh, yeah.
like, squirt.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I need the needle. Like, I need
Yeah.
to stick in there and suck it out.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it for a couple months.
Yeah, okay. Get a little head start. Yeah.
You're not sure about something, you know, something will go for glory and something what we're trying to say, but if you get that compliment and it just so happens to be right, it doesn't require a bodybuilder to do too much.
It literally would take me just twisting my arm the next 2 years.
Oh, no.
Respect my knees like I respect
You're playing for our home. We're gonna say that I'm gonna roll with this guy.
Yeah, I'll roll with you too. I was gonna be
Easy roll.
someone chase. Yeah, close to get that.
I gotta get cut my tattoo.
Are you Scott from B?
Yeah.
I'll roll with A's. I'll roll with y'all if you're gonna go more. So the normal roll.
Because you won't get to do AGF. You're not gonna have enough time to be like, hey, I got this coming up.
Or if I'm working, if I'm off that Saturday, I'm not working.
Right. Just to
Hey, y'all start the clock and go ahead and start some rounds. We'll start like actual comp rounds in a second. Sorry, guys. Go ahead and get it rolling, and then we'll start some actual comp positionals. If you're competing, I want you starting a turtle. You're a turtle. If you're competing.
Just assume you're competing. You're not, but just work it like you are.
Sounds like you like to grab my teeth or something, so we're good. Here's tight.
You gone? See you, buddy.
Looking like John
You got your stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Every time I do it, like cracks my head.
My wrists were getting bent in a pretzel shape. I can't do it.
Priorities, the leg over the head. See you, man. Josh, if he knew Kessa, you'd be in trouble right now. You got to drop that right elbow. Set your frames. Yeah, no matter what, keep that right elbow planted to the floor. You see him, he's trying to pull it up. There you go, get the sweep. Yeah. That's right. That's it, Camden. Good transition.
I didn't have your arm in all the way. We were basically just fighting.
30 seconds.